So today we'll have a relatively short meeting, just a few updates, no proposals or anything to vote on this week. The first thing I just wanted to mention, though, is that the proposals from last week, the 1K budget extension for the Eiman's Journey documentary project, and the funding of the space-time card hardware development project went through, and we managed to get them funded in record time from the multi-sig. So those have already been taken care of and are hitting the ground running. So that's basically just the quick update announcement. I see Ryan and Pablo here in the audience. If either of you guys have um, anything to add, you can jump up here on stage. Well, actually, I'd like to get at least Pablo or one of you guys up here so we can start talking about the Deprize Development project. That's not first on the agenda, but I think we're still waiting here for Phil and Dr. Eiman to hop in. So, um, hey, Pablo.
Hey there. On my phone, 1 second. Can you hear me all right?
Yep, we can hear you fine.
Great. Okay. So yeah, updates on the Deprize Development. So yeah, we're deep into implementation of the 3 core objectives. So yeah, a lot of good work has been happening. Jade, who's in the audience, has been putting together a withdraw button for the retroactives, which is a big piece of the automations that are necessary. And that will be super, super helpful for our operations going forward. So that's, making good progress. And yeah, we've started to really kind of put together a bunch of the big broad strokes of the architecture for the Deprize and starting to weave in all of the things that we've built so far. So, tying it into the retroactives, the citizens teams, all of that. So yeah, that's been moving along. And then Name.get, who's also in the audience, has been shipping a ton of code with the Space Acceleration Network. So yeah, all around, just kind of, we're pretty heads down as a group. I've been yeah, I've got some stuff outside of MoonDAO that I'm handling right now, but so I'll be mostly in the audience for the rest of the time. But yeah, progress has been good. Yeah, I think we're making good headway into each of the core objectives.
Very cool. Thank you, Pablo. So yeah, today we've only got 2 other projects to report on. The other one is, well, 3 more technically, the second astronaut support and Eiman's Journey documentary, although I don't see Dr. Eiman here. Titan, if you want to jump up and say anything, and I know, Ryan, you've been working on that project, or at least in communication with Dr. Eiman about that project. So if you want to share anything, or if you have anything to share.
Yeah, I'll just I'll chime on a few things that Pablo was saying there. Some of the awesome work that Colin Name.get's been doing. We got the really cool network map of our citizens live now on the website. I shared a link here in the ground control channel. Definitely check that out. It's cool to see the different parts of the U.S. and we're on 3 continents right now in the map. Super cool to see where everyone is. We've gotten a few more citizens through the gate over the past week too. We're up to at least, I think, 56 at the moment, and we just got in 2 more teams, Symbiont Labs and the MoonDAO Makerspace, that came through just yesterday. So yeah, we're still building here, still trying to get more stuff into the marketplace and jobs listing. I know the I-24 team, they've got their cool egress water training basically in Arizona with the Chase program. We can share a link to that as well, but that's coming up pretty quickly here. Maybe too quickly, but that's in the marketplace, and some other cool stuff. But I don't know, did you want to chime in on that or about the Eiman doc?
Yeah, when it comes to the doc, I've been talking to my son, who is a movie, TV, video game writer over in Europe, and he's been in front of just about every streaming service trying to pitch ideas. So he said he'd be willing to help us find a home for the finished doc at a streaming service. And he's actually asked for a little bit of the sample footage so we can take a look at it and give some ideas of where it might be the best connection. So as soon as Eiman and I have been talking, he's going to get some footage to me, and I'll get it to him too. So.
Yeah, I talked to Jerome, and he was going to get it scripted this week, I think. So that'll give us a better idea as to, I think, what it's going to look like. But I've reached out to him, and I've reached out to Blue about maybe using some of their footage and trying to get permission. So we will see what they say.
Yeah, and back to the Chase training. Yeah, I'm getting ready and packing right now. Classes are Saturday and Sunday, and we're hoping for the next class was in March, is open it up to not just to the I-24 folks, to the MoonDAO and anybody else, so we can increase the size of the classes too. Because right now we're running about 5, and 10 is probably the optimum, and it's just way more fun with more people, to be totally honest.
Great, cool. So Eiman, do you have any other updates for us on the second astronaut / documentary?
Yeah, I mean,
saw
things are
some,
going
some
well.
photos.
Yeah, I did. I went to the School of Public, the board school, I don't know, the public elementary school and middle school and high school board, basically, in Nashville. Asked me to come by and talk about the partnerships between the schools and like the science center, and what I'd been doing with them. So that was cool. That was on Tuesday. Today I gave an hour talk about like the history of space medicine, and where I expect things to go in the future for the med school. And they said it was the most highly attended lecture they've had in that series in a long time. So a lot of interest, a lot of good questions. Try to excite young doctor trainees to go into space. So I think it was very well received. And then the docuseries is still ongoing. We have to record at 2 more schools. One is in like a week from Monday, and then the other one I have to see. I had to reschedule it, so we'll see when that's going to be. I mean, it's going well. I know Jerome was starting to script it to see what the form is going to look like based on the reels and the audio that they have. So I will be excited to see what that kind of turns out as. That's pretty much it. Yes, please, Phil.
Have you given that talk for a MoonDAO audience? A lot of the people in introductions that are joining our astrobio and space medicine and stuff like that as a topic of interest here. I'd love for MoonDAO to actually get some projects going.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Related to that.
I have 2 talks. The one I gave today is the first time I've ever given it. I just put it together because it was supposed to be like a historical context because of the name lectureship. So I gave it on the history of space medicine. I also have just like a straight up space medicine talk that I've given to another community a few years back called Space Plus. And that one I could also give potentially.
Both would be awesome to do either live or put it on our YouTube channel or something like that. I'd love to watch both.
Yeah, we could do that. I know the Space Plus one is on YouTube and is open, but I think if we wanted one specifically for MoonDAO, then we should just redo it. You know, and it would be MoonDAO's proprietary kind of YouTube video. But yeah, I mean, we can try to figure out how to do that or when to do that.
Very nice. I'd like to see that happen too. We can we can follow up on you guys about that next week.
Sounds good.
Great. And yeah, if there's no other updates there, we can hand it over to Phil, who has just started the space-time hardware dev project.
Thanks. Yeah. Things are moving quickly. In terms of the funding side, Mitchie, I think all the paperwork is done. I have to turn that Ethereum into cash and buy the card. The oscillator. And I want to do that as soon as possible because there's not many left in stock. So I'm planning to do that tonight. I'll just see what happens. I'll try to do it and see what happens, but we'll have to transfer. Like, I don't know how to get money out of the vault without basically paying my own personal wallet and then taking it out through Coinbase. So logistics there to get US dollar need to be figured out. One last step before I can buy anything. In terms of the project as a whole, I have a PDF from Ian on the team that goes through step by step their preliminary analysis of like what they think they can achieve in terms of holdover and accuracy using, two different oscillators. They have an oven-controlled crystal and this CSAC that we're going to buy, chip scale atomic clock that we're going to buy. I forwarded that to the Time Appliances project, which designed and made the open time card. And I haven't gotten specific feedback yet, but I've gotten a positive response. Like, I sent it to Ahmad and Ahmad Bayagawi and Julian St. James, and they're both like, yeah, send it over. Great, I'll take a look. But I haven't gotten feedback on a technical side that I can forward back to the team yet. As far as technical matters, that's the only update since the last time we talked. The rest has just been really cool conversations with people in terms of follow-up projects. I talked with Professor David Riviere yesterday, and we just had a bunch of fun thinking of ways reasons to put this in space and make a mission out of it, or things to follow up using the technology, both for stuff like cislunar economics and navigation, which is really fun. Working with universities and stuff like that is an option, I think. So longer term stuff cooking still. I just need to actually buy the damn thing ASAP.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, the only way to do it, to get like those funds in Fiat, is through a centralized exchange. That's how I would do it. So I can help you with that after this
I'd
call. That's
appreciate
no
if
problem.
if you hold my hand through that.
Yeah, no problem. Cool. Okay. Well, if there are any questions or anything from anyone in the audience, feel free to raise your hand or post it in the chat. That's basically it. I think we were pretty close to our all-time record for shortest town hall. We do have an open floor now, though. So if anyone here on stage or anyone in the audience wants to add anything, I see we got a hand up here from Mars. Get them up here.
As always, I also have open floor comments. Go ahead,
Of course.
Gromar.
Okay.
Daniel Tompkins is not a regular here, but I'm always looking to jump in when I have time. Beyond Earth Symposium was interesting yesterday in DC, and the day before that. Chase wasn't aware of that, so that's exciting. And then I posted in the chat there about DEEP, which is a underwater seasteading effort. which their leadership team is at the bottom of the page, is definitely a browse. They've got a former astronaut on there and some looks like a pretty broad and deep team as part of that deep.com. But I didn't see any quick overlaps between Chase and Deep, but maybe there is.
This is it, the link I just posted in the chat.
The link I posted on deep.com. So they're doing underwater seasteading, but I hearing what Chase was doing, or just a quick look at Chase, seems like that underwater operating domain, if I'm not mistaken, is similar.
You can give me I just DM'd you. We can talk offline.
Cool.
As a segue to that, one of the things I wanted to bring up was onboarding people that are interested in the things we're doing, but not really plugged in to doing them with MoonDAO. Was a self-proclaimed Aquanaut, analog astronaut missions using submersibles is a thing that happens today. Like, I talked to the guy that does it. I think it would be he was interested in doing something like that with MoonDAO and like seeing what we're about and trying to do a mission. So there's potential here to do something underwater as a, like, we're not at the moon, but the closest thing to space without being in space is to go to the bottom of the ocean, right? So
Yeah, I think the relevance, and then also like the surface seasteading elements all had their challenges, and like flip ships were tried and stuff for stability, but then like the Navy comes in and like tows them away, like you can't be here. A little harder to do that if you're underwater. And then you have an equal temperature too. You get away from that wave action. Not an expert in this domain at all. But it has a little bit higher fidelity than like a surface operation where you're concerned about the air composition and waste recycling a little bit more potentially. And it's a little bit higher fidelity domain to operate in, and then maybe with some differentiators that have held seasteading back from.
yeah, for the governance nerds in MoonDAO, I don't know how many of you are there, but that idea of the Navy coming and saying you can't be here is it's funny you bring that up, because like, yo, the moon, that's gonna happen, you know. And MoonDAO is our mission is like internet native. We don't have, like, ideally the DAO wouldn't belong to a nation, right, tied to physical boundaries. And so that question of like, what if we went to the moon and then the Navy came and said you can't be here, where are they going to tow us? You know, I thought that was just like you mentioned as an aside, but like that's a real unsolved problem for lunar settlement.
Yeah, I want to say the guy that tried this off the coast of Southeast Asia, like he literally got towed in by like whatever
Wow.
country's navy that was. So like the guy that actually tried seasteading, and yeah, that got disrupted just because they didn't want this to grow. On the moon, right? It would be like Space Force, which is both,
Exactly.
I don't know, like the biggest ally, but then also like the ones that are really into maybe. So yeah, like if there are people there, then that mission and domain is relevant to them. So like if
Yeah,
they
and the
are the
concept of,
Coast Guard type of thing, if there's people there, then we need a Coast Guard type of thing.
yeah, and taking literal international waters to, you know, the Outer Space Treaty kind of makes outer space international waters in a way, type thing. Anyway, yeah.
At the Beyond Earth Symposium, I'm forgetting the person's name, but he presented the Lunar Development Cooperative. He worked in 38 countries setting up economic zones, and he was advocating to avoid the problems of the East India Trading Company. He articulated that we need a cooperative on the moon to avoid the similar historical challenges that came along with that could come along and maybe a cooperative gets around that. So I'll post that gentleman's name in the link in a minute here.
Open Lunar Foundation is like, this is the #1 thing that they're thinking about and working on with the UN and things like that. So if you want to participate, I can put you in touch for sure. Or
I actually I just had a call with Michael, who's doing that Open Lunar, or not, the Lunar Development Cooperative, and had a really great call with him, and we were just kind of jamming a bit on like what it looks like to integrate some of the ideas that we have here at MoonDAO around smart contracts and into his framework. So that's kind of an ongoing thread right now, which is pretty cool. But yeah, just nothing formalized in terms of like a real way to work. But he actually even he was interested in advising MoonDAO. So we should definitely get him in here in one of these town halls and maybe do a presentation on the LDC. I feel like that would be really cool.
I posted a link to his LinkedIn, and yeah, Michael, same guy. And I was an Open Lunar fellow. Thank you for the recommendation. I'm still looking to advance that work. For Payload X. So yeah, that was great. I mean, it forced me to do things I otherwise would never have done or tried to do. So and I think it was really valuable. But on the LDC, the Lunar Development Cooperative, one thing is they're very interested in actually testing this, like getting like test demonstrations done and stuff like that as well. So that's always a big hurdle, and to realizing some of these things, because we honestly just haven't tried but a handful of times to do anything like this in a sustainable way. So and the moon is totally different than the ISS, as many folks know. So so yeah, it's I told him at the end of the meeting, I said, I hope over the next year I'm working with you more than anyone else on this, because as I articulated to him, I mean, the moon is highly conflict, right? Everyone looks up at night and sees the moon and they think they own it. Mars is totally abstract. So like years ago, I was like, man, I hope we go to Mars, because if we go to the moon, that's like ripe for conflict. And so I'm like, if we need to get the moon right, but just for that reason, and that's why I feel strongly about supporting those efforts.
I just want to make sure we give Paul here the mic as well. I don't know if they have something to add on this topic or a new one, but I'll hand it over to you, Paul.
Nice, yeah, thank you. I got excited when I heard governance nerds, and this is this is right up my alley. So yeah, I'm just kind of came in to listen in. I just found out about MoonDAO like a week or two ago, and I love this mission, and I love what you guys are doing. I work in the public goods space of crypto on resource allocation and decision mechanisms, kind of in the realm of like Gitcoin and quadratic funding and conviction voting, and basically on-chain mechanisms that help people make decisions on how they allocate shared resources and how they make decisions about what they're going to do, ideally with bottom-up governance structures. The project that I run is called Gardens, but this whole genre is like is what I do in this space. So I'm really excited you guys are like combining the really ambitious space application of some of these new decision mechanism tools, which this is a beautiful marriage of concepts.
Okay,
so it's nice to meet you guys.
Great having you here. Yeah, I think I've heard of Gardens, and I know MoonDAO definitely. We have a history with Gitcoin. We've used it before, been engaged in Gitcoin projects. So cool. It's great having you around.
Yeah. and so we run a Gitcoin round that gives communities some money to play around with to use conviction voting for. We just finished up a round, but 3 months from now, it would be awesome to have MoonDAO raise some money that it could experiment with conviction voting for. And I'd be very happy to help with that.
Well, yeah, the best place to start would really be just to like post an overview of the idea and everything in our ideation channel. I'll post a link to it here in case anyone in the audience wants access to it as well. But yeah, if you could get that in there, and that's basically where most of our projects start. We get a little feedback from the community and then take it from there.
Nice. All right. Thank you.
No problem. And I do want to also, I'm not forgetting Phil here. I know you have something else you wanted to add to our discussion.
Yeah, I met a lot of really cool people that resonated with our mission and I think are a good fit for the ongoing projects or projects that are ready to go. But I've been having a hard time, like, I don't know what the right word is, converting them into actual participating MoonDAO people, citizens. And so I was wondering, you know, I just wanted to bring that up and ask for help. Like for example, posted a whole list of business cards and had real conversations with these people. And there's a lot of overlap, a lot of potential for biz dev, for these individuals as contributors, and none of them have like followed through. I've provided the links to be a citizen. I've explained the pitch. Everyone's like, yay, thumbs up. This sounds awesome. This sounds great. I'd love to. But that's not materializing. So I'd love some advice on how to do that last mile and get, activate some people to get these projects rolling.
And
Welcome to sales. Yeah.
doing a survey on some of those roadblocks, whether it's they're not active on Discord or they don't do crypto stuff. So like I'm still stuck on MetaMask. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm such a noob to this stuff. So there's just a lot of things and a lot of, so I don't know, it'd be interesting to know what a portion of the barrier that is.
I think
Yeah, so most of my conversations are happening in person on LinkedIn or on WhatsApp. So
and from those conversations, like how many of those people then have those barriers to engage? Like they like the ethos of it and everything, but they're not on Discord or they're not on,
the majority
they don't do
are not in crypto, don't have a wallet. The majority probably don't have Discord. So
is there another way to onboard, like a Venmo, like, hey, and if you don't do crypto, but you still want to support this and stuff and be a part of the conversation, but you don't use Discord, like, is there another way to be a part of the community?
I thought the MoonDAO app had something like that, right? Like
we have the ability to accept different payments through the MoonDAO app. Like if you sign in there, it'll create a wallet for you, and from there you can fund that wallet via like a Coinbase on-ramp or MoonPay. And people have been successful with that. But yeah, I mean it would be interesting to see like how we could get them into Discord, because I know there's quite a few space people and they just don't necessarily use Discord, so it's not something they think about checking or using. But figuring out what that kind of first step roadblock is, how we could get them to participate.
So there's like
we have Alien Cube and Amanda requesting to speak as well. I wanted I think we should revisit this topic too, because there's too many unknowns personally. I'm going to try to focus on, there's one person that
Hey, can folks hear me?
Hi, Amanda, yeah.
Oh, it's the... Hey, sorry, I'm traveling right now. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I run an org that does a lot of remote connecting of folks and organizing folks. And so one thing that has really helped us at Rise is going to where people are, which is Instagram. So, perhaps a thing all to think about. We have our own broadcast channel and we interact with folks there. So we actually run our, organizing on Slack. And sometimes it is hard for, our community to always be on Slack. But people are nearly always on Instagram. So for us, that's been a helpful tool to like get people involved and engaged. So for instance, when we do have like Zoom breakouts or things like that, we'll put it, yes, on our, our Slack, but we'll also put it on our Instagram broadcast channel. Like we just go to where people are.
Right. And then when you go to where people are, it's more of like like if someone's, someone wants to join or whatever, like getting them through that process. I'm thinking like I have a connection with one person that's on that level of like casual conversation using WhatsApp, not Instagram, but same idea in terms of DMing. And I guess I'm going to try to like just get on Zoom one day and walk them through it. It's like so they're not
Yeah.
alone when they join. Is that what you do? Like one-on-one?
So we yes in the beginning, but we now have uh Q&A sessions where it'll be like, hey, like if you're all interested in, learning more about, let's say MoonDAO, right? Like, and if you want to set up, like basics, like how to set up a wallet or something like that. So we'll have a scheduled time and then like people will know to like opt in to that, like Zoom, for instance. And it'll
Like
just be sent
we're all
out.
going to do this together
Yes.
session.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So it's like, I guess better, bang for your buck kind of time wise. But yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and I think we can resume this. This will be an ongoing discussion, but as an like action item style, I'm going to try to get one person to join as a citizen on the Discord and then ask them and basically be like, why did it take so long? Even though you were super excited when we were talking. and at least have one data point.
Yeah, I think someone would like to post something in ideation and continue this thread async. I think that'd be cool. I see Ryan's got some idea in the chat as well about something we've talked about in the past. It's like cross platform messaging from Discord out to like Telegram or WhatsApp or even WeChat. Yeah, thanks guys. I'd also like to make sure we get Alien Cube here, the mic. They have something else they want to add to our agenda. So, Alien Cube, we can't hear you if you're trying to speak. Or I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear either. Looks like you're unmuted, so might be a Discord thing, but feel free to speak whenever.
Yeah, if you might need to jump off and then jump back up again. Sometimes Discord like that. Or alternatively, if it's not going to work out, then you can also just post in the chat and we'll read it out here for you on stage. Okay, I see them. I see them typing. Yeah, Ryan's also saying if Phil, I think if you want help like onboarding people, Ryan's probably the one who's most informed. I think he has the most experience with getting citizens in the door. So I'd sync up with him.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say most of it's just one-on-one. Like, yeah, it's really hand holding through DMs or back and forth by email. That's pretty much how it's been going for, and obviously some people just know and go through and can do it on their own, but yeah, it's pretty much a lot of hand holding. I mean, if you want to take an intro too, I can try and take it from there, or obviously welcome to take the lead.
Right. Yeah, thanks. What I've been focusing on is having something for people to do once they finish that. So this has kind of been a blind spot for me, but and I really think it's a good thing to do in general for folks is continue an ideation and kind of tee up things, even if you don't have the time to work on it. I've been putting in a lot of effort to tee up things for someone who is feeling like they want to put in some effort, but maybe don't have a clear direction. And it's like, here, try this. So small, focused, narrowly scoped projects. I think we could definitely use a few more of those to get started here. Okay, Alien
I just
Cube
want to.
says, so I'm an artist and I was doing a project with the Space Lunar Company that will send my project that is called Alien Cube to the moon. We already developed the cube that would be made out of titanium, and there would be data inside, like photos, memes, and they want to collaborate with us.
Cool. Thanks, Alien Cube. Yeah.
Who's the
Again,
best
I
person
think
to speak about that?
I think really the best place is in ideation is where we like, where most things grab traction and we see who's interested and who might be interested in leading a project like that. I think you might also be interested in LifeShip, which is a project we've worked on in the past that has this kind of similar goal. We were, well, right now I believe it's kind of on hold due to some geopolitical tensions involving the Navajo Nation. But we are planning on sending photos to like photos and files to the moon in the form of like a small I'm going to say chip. I guess we have Ben in the audience. He can describe it much better. He's the founder of LifeShip, but it'll be encased in a synthetic amber. Yeah, let Ben. Ben, if you want to give just a quick overview of what LifeShip is.
Yeah. So LifeShip is sending a series of capsules to the moon, and we include all sorts of stuff. We have a plant seed bank in them. We have a DNA bank of all different species and animals, and then we have different layers with nano etched content. So we have images and art NFT projects, and we put the MoonDAO Constitution on it. We put all sorts of different stuff, whole collections of music and art and stories, and all of Wikipedia is on it. And so we are on one with Firefly Aerospace that's planned in the next several months. That we've already shipped, and then we're working on a few more moon missions over the next few years as well. And we can put small things in there, and we actually worked with one artist and put this 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter glass cube inside one of the capsules that we're sending up. And this next one, we don't have human DNA in it. That's the one thing we weren't able to put in this one, but we're putting human DNA in other ones. But we still put plant DNA and plant seeds in it. So we can put all sorts of stuff as long as it's small inside of it.
Cool, thanks, Ben. So yeah, Alien Cube, maybe you want to sync up with Ben or just check out LifeShip, check out that project, maybe take some inspiration from it or see if there's some potential for collaboration. I don't know. But
in terms of artists, to like for providing art from MoonDAO. Mitchie, I know you do design work for the brand. We also have done like the citizen avatar thing is a custom AI generation tool, and then there's a bunch of people in the introductions channel that have said they have experience in graphic design too. So I'm gonna search through introductions and kind of tag some of those people, if that sounds interesting to
Yeah.
or useful.
Yeah, I think it sounds like a good idea. I see Amanda's asking a question, I think, about the newsletter click-through rate. Ryan, you're probably best equipped to answer that.
We're about between 30 to 40% basically, about 10K on the list. But yeah, definitely trying to. We do have like an educational series there about crypto, generally speaking, opening a wallet security, and those sorts of things. We're kind of well, I'm in the process of kind of revamping things there right now for the autoresponder type series to focus more on the space acceleration network and getting people in that way. But yeah, I do like the idea of. I don't know how much demand we have though for like group synchronous workshops. We've done sort of similar things in the past. Like Mitchie's led some synchronous meetings for new members, and turnout was kind of low. But yeah, I mean, we could definitely revisit or explore doing something like that again to get people through the gate.
Yeah, I'd like to see if we could do more like event coordination like that and just put it into the community circle. I think that'd be great. That's one like really underutilized part of the community circle that I think no one's really taken full advantage of, is that we could be, people could be getting paid to organize those types of events for MoonDAO and in MoonDAO spaces. So, and another thing I wanted to build on, I didn't get to mention earlier when Phil was talking about adding stuff into ideation, even if you're not uh, able to execute on it, or you don't have the resources. Sometimes, I mean, it has happened before that people have shared ideas in ideation that are ultimately up to the executive branch, like myself or Ryan or Pablo here, Colin, to implement in some form. For example, people who presented the idea of printing out new MoonDAO flags, which was timely, and it was a prompt that I needed to actually get that done for one of our events. And so that just having that idea, pushing that idea forward, was something that they were rewarded for in the community circle. So even if you just have an idea of something that is like that, that's ultimately not up to you to execute, I would still post it in because you can get credit for that idea. Yeah, and I see Phil asking Alien Cube for the link. Yeah, if you want to share that, for sure, just post it right here in our ground control chat. Okay, it looks like they won't be able to post it right now. But yeah, when it's ready, send it our way. I'd like to check it out. Maybe post something in our ideation channel. And no worry about the long messages. Yeah, is there anything else anyone wants to bring up before we bring this to a close?
Anybody going to the Starship launch? Titan? Anybody?
I'm praying for a 1-day delay so I can make it. Otherwise, I'll be on a plane flying home from Tucson on the Monday.
Bummer. No, we got Andrew C. Rocket Future will be down there. I don't know if anybody's time to head down that way, but yeah.
Yeah, if you actually get down there, you should find him, locate Andrew. Usually does a 3 or 4 camera live shot, and he loves to talk to people. That's the key to the whole thing, is men on the street interviews.
Yeah, I wish I could make it, but I won't be at this one. I hope it's delayed a day for you though, Titan.
All right, folks. Fun
Cool.
discussion today. I'll talk to you later.
Yep. See you, Phil. Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop out soon too. Well, I can't really stay past the hour mark, but I think we can wrap it up here. It was a great discussion. Thanks, guys, for participating. I don't think we've had this many people on stage in a while, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, thanks everyone. We'll see you all again next week, same time, same place.
Welcome to MoonDAO, a revolutionary governance model and mission-oriented community that's reshaping collaboration in the space industry. Our mission is to create a self-sustaining, self-governing settlement on the moon to act as a launch point into the cosmos. MoonDAO is governed like a nation, with its own economy, constitution, voting system, treasury, elections, and senate, but internet native, and so without the limitations of geography. In 2022, we sent our first member to space, showcasing our model's capacity for real-world impact. Now, we're implementing key solutions for global collaboration in the space industry. We offer a borderless, permissionless platform that enables everyday people to participate in the future of space development and exploration. Be part of our lunar legacy and join the MoonDAO movement today.